The Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to get to a point where everybody can listen in on everybody. That's what I think. I think we're only a couple decades away from that. I think right now it's like service providers have the possibility of tapping into you. Maybe, all these different government groups knows how to tap into your phones and tap into your TV and tap into the camera that's on your laptop. But I think it's going to come a matter of time where that's the intrusion in privacy is going to be the bottleneck to future technology. And we're going to get to some virtual reality environment where it is so titanically bizarre and so incredibly realistic that whatever the fuck happens in the regular world is going to lose its significance. It's going to slowly lose significance to the point where we're going to accept that one of the ways to overcome some of these technological hurdles is to completely dissolve all boundaries between all people and information. Meaning you're going to be able to look at anybody doing anything, anytime, and they're going to be able to look at you, and that's going to be the new reality of human beings. And this will be after we've accepted virtual reality. So once we accept virtual reality, regular life is going to be so mundane because you're going to be able to create artificial environments like Avatar World, like you're flying through 2001: A Space Odyssey, you're hanging out with the chimps, you're going to have haptic suits on that give you feedback, it's going to be tied into your central nervous system, it's going to recreate smells and feels, and that's all going to happen. It's not a matter of whether it's going to happen, it's a matter of when is it going to happen. I think when that does happen, the big bottleneck is going to be privacy. And I think people are going to, just like they're doing now with constantly putting up things on social media and constantly showing pictures of their kids and constantly giving updates on everywhere you go and tagging all these things with geotags, I think that in the future, we are going to just accept that no one has any privacy. And kids today are more likely to accept it than we were, and our kids are going to be more likely to accept it than their kids, and it's going to keep going on and on and on. And 3-4 generations, it's going to be life. Life is going to be no privacy. Like, if we were all living in like a Big Brother type house, there's fucking no privacy, right? There's cameras everywhere. There's people willingly do it. How long before everybody willingly does it? It's a matter of time. Right now, it sounds impossible because we grew up valuing privacy. I need my alone time. I don't want anybody paying attention to what I'm doing. But human beings are so incredibly malleable that once life changes around us, and we know for a fact this is inexorable. This is not going back unless Yellowstone blows or we get hit by an asteroid. This is life now. We're just going to accept it. It's going to go into the next thing, and you're going to deal with people looking at you naked all the time, LOL, because you don't care, because you're in the Avatar dimension, riding a fucking dragon over a volcano. You're going to be living in a world that's so much more fantastic than the real world. There's someone looking at your asshole in the real world. You're like, go ahead, look, who cares?
You're basically saying that we're putting ourselves in those little pods in the Matrix.
Yes.
You're saying that we're willingly climbing in eventually to these little pods of goo and powering the whole machine age.
Yes.
Because we're just going to plug in.
I think we're going to be
there.
symbiotic. I think we're going to become part machine. I think it's inevitable.
Or like an ant colony.
Yeah. We're already kind of like an ant colony, right?
Like one organism with many, many parts.
Yeah. I think it's
I don't want to live
time.
in that. Is that okay?
You don't have to. You're alive right now. You're alive in a beautiful time. You're alive in the transition between when you were young and there was no internet to now you being an adult where there's internet. This is the most amazing time ever. We're lucky. We're lucky. We're the most lucky because we've experienced both. We've experienced, when I was a kid, we didn't have fucking answering machines.
No, I know, right? You just called and hoped they were home.
Yeah, and if they weren't home, you never found them. You opened that door to your house, you were a ghost. You just got, they had to trust you were where you said you were. You just went places. You could do whatever you want, and that's...
We're the last wild ones. That's what we are.
We are the last. We're the last of the disconnected. We were disconnected, and then we became connected in the 1990s. That's a totally new experience for human beings, and we experienced both parts. We were the last humans to experience no internet. No one else will ever experience that. The only way they'll experience that is if they don't have internet, but the world has internet.
You know what I want to get back to? What you said,
Ghosts.
How long is the electricity down if we're attacked on the infrastructure? That's what I want to know.
Well, we were talking about the internet,
Yeah, I was
but
just talking about the internet, but same thing.
just the
It's
internet?
same
yeah,
thing.
like that's an issue too.
Oh, that's all they're going to blow is the internet?
No, I mean they could, but it would be.
That was like the saddest attack. Like, wow.
Well, EMP could take us out too, which is just as scary. And probably easier to accomplish.
That's what I want to know
Yeah.
about. Like, how long is the recovery time? Because I do feel like Putin's sitting back there, like.
Well, I think what they're really worried about, other than Putin, is solar flares. They think solar flares have the real potential to take out the entire power grid. That's entirely possible.
And
But they've had
life
big
as we
ones.
know it.
Oh, that too. Yeah, for sure. That's only one thing. Yellowstone's the big one. Ooh.
That was like a stoner moment. We all just stopped. We're
Do you
like,
know about the caldera volcano in Yellowstone? You know about all
I
that?
do.
That's the big one.
I do. I'm
That's
not
what everybody should be freaking out
as
about.
worried about that, although I know it's bulging.
Yeah.
I think the northwest part is bulging or something.
Well, it's just
So-
constantly having earthquakes. They've had thousands of earthquakes every year for like the last 5 or 6 years. Thousands. They have thousands in a month
It's just-
sometimes.
That to me is not worth worrying about because there's nothing we can do.
Nothing.
That
They
is
wanna.
like that. You might as well just the what?
I said they want to. They want to dig a hole.
No.
They want to drill a hole and let some of the gas out.
Well, wow. I applaud their, you know what I mean?
Like a zit. They
Get
just
up
wanna,
and
like, lance
go.
it.
Like where, you know?
Yeah. They want to lance the zit and push some of the lava out. Oof. What's crazy is that that's happened to human civilization like many times over the course of history. Giant volcanoes blowing up and killed
Meteor.
everybody. Yeah, a bunch of that shit happened too.
Yeah. I'll be loving life because I'm small. I think only the small things survive, right?
You think so? I think like shrews.
I don't know.
Well, that's what they said about the what hit the Yucatan is that we used to be like a mole, like human beings. If you trace the evolution of the human being, if you believe in that nonsense, today, if you go all the way back, we were like a mole. We were some kind of a mole. That was the
that
only
was our
surviving.
that was our
Yeah, yeah, literally. 65 million years ago, human beings, our farthest mammal ancestor is some sort of a mole that survived the,
Like a little-
the big hit. Yeah,
like
a fucking
shrewish
mole.
looking thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And because all the upper predators get wiped out, so
Yep.
then they can thrive because
no
there's
food,
nothing to eat them.
And they live in the ground, so that these things can live underground and survive.
Is that our future?
Maybe.
Are we going to end
Mole
up like
people.
underground?
See
Everyone
if
thinks we're
that's
going to
true.
Mars, but I think we're just going to go underground.
We are going to go to Mars too, though. Some idiots, some poor fucks are going to
No,
die
thank
on Mars.
you. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Pass.
That's
Why do
just
people want to do that?
Because we can. Because it's
Go
one
to
of those
Arizona.
things.
Go
exactly.
sit in like Badlands.
That's what I'm saying.
You're done.
Exactly.
Woo, and you can come back and
Exactly.
have pie.
Yeah, it's dumb. Yeah, and then you have to bring water, or have to go get it and melt it down.
But you're there, okay? You're
Yeah.
on Mars. Let's just say we're on Mars. What do we do? We're just terraforming?
Cry,
Cry.
and wait for your body to stop working.
Rock.
Yeah, what can you
You
do?
know? I mean, I don't see the life there.
Well, I think people want to be pioneers, and I think it's entirely possible that you're going to wind up going with some really crazy people too.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Who wants to be a pioneer that isolated?
Yeah.
Crazy pants, right?